Hello, and welcome to this week's Makers Monday. This week, we're going to speak to Desiree Wolcott Cushman, who works at the Rockwell Library's Makerspace in Oregon. Now, this is kind of really exciting for me because I got my started setting up makerspaces all around Melbourne. So I'm really keen to speak to Desiree. But before we throw to her, I'd like to invite you all to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss out on another maker every single week. As I mentioned before, Desiree is a librarian at the Rockwell Library Makerspace. She has a really interesting space which she's going to tour us around and show not only the equipment but also the projects that they do in this publicly run makerspace. I get really excited about these sort of spaces because this is a place where the public can come into a makerspace and explore what maker culture is all about. It also allows people the opportunity to actually get their hands dirty and create something that they potentially might never have done before. Desiree, it's really good to meet you. Please introduce yourself to everyone and share with us what you do in your makerspace at the library.
Welcome to the Rockwell Makerspace. I'm Desiree Wolcott Cushman, and this is the Makerspace.
Awesome. So Desiree, how do you define yourself?
That's a good question. I am a maker and an educator and a library assistant here at the library, which you can't actually see because it's on the other side of that wall right there. See, there are the books. Pretty cool.
Cool. So what was the last thing or project that you made here in the Makerspace?
I was just thinking that was actually a very tough question. Last Saturday, I did an adult 3D printing class, and we made keychains. Yes, we're in the keychain mode. That's where we start. Everyone starts with keychain. And I made...
Ooh, let's come see.
Oh, yeah. I made the golden snitch.
Nice.
To show people. We use the 3D printers a lot, but my favorite...
Oh yeah, what is your favorite piece of equipment?
Oh yeah, my favorite piece of equipment is the laser cutter right here.
Ooh.
And it cuts, etches, and engraves wood and acrylic. Had some problems just yesterday. That first thing I did was like, oh, my baby's sick. So I think we need to replace this part, but other than that, this is a lovely, wonderful machine, and it will continue to work for a while, I hope.
Awesome. And then another question is, what was your favorite project that you have made here?
My favorite project is not necessarily something that I made, but it was something that we put together here in the Makerspace. It's we did a Crappy Robots workshop with teens, where we invited teens to come in and make crappy robots, which makes learning about robots and the functioning of making a moving object a little bit more accessible, because when you call it crappy, it really lowers the bar. But it also makes it fun. And in the end, we have a HeboCon style competition where one robot tries to push the other robot off the table. And we have right here one of our entries, Princess Hippo, who was made by one of my co-workers, Judith, and some teens. And we have other things that were made here too, but it's so by far my favorite workshop, and we've had it twice here, and it's great.
Awesome. One last question. What is another skill that you want to learn?
A skill that I'd like to learn. I'd like to learn how to use, what are they called? They're like a laser cutter with water.
Water jet.
Water jet, yes.
Yeah.
I want to use one of those, and I want to cut like styrofoam and metal and things like that, because that, like, everybody's like, well, the laser cut metal?
Mm-hmm.
No, not yet. Well, not this one.
Not that one.
No.
Awesome. Well, that's it. Thank you, Desiree.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Desiree, for showing us around your makerspace. And I'd like to also thank your friend for actually running that interview and being able to help you get your message across on this episode of Makers Monday. If you happen to be around Oregon and you'd like to go check out this Desiree and her makerspace, she's located at the Rockwell Library Makerspace, and the information will be below. Thank you so much, Desiree, and I hope we get a chance to hang out and share some of the experiences and stories about working in a makerspace in a library. Guys, if this is your first time coming to Makers Monday and you're interested in following along, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. And if you're a maker yourself, I'm super keen to meet you and share your story on Makers Monday. In fact, there's a link right below that you can click and contact us, and I would be honored to be able to help you share your story to a wider audience. That's it for this week's Makers Monday. I hope you enjoyed meeting Desiree and seeing what happens in the Rockwell Library Makerspace. We'll be back here next week with a brand new maker. So until we see you, go make something and enjoy your week.